There comes a moment in life when you realize how much energy you have wasted trying to be understood. You replay conversations in your head. You rehearse explanations that were never asked for. You defend choices that already feel right in your soul. This habit feels harmless at first. It feels polite. It feels mature. But over time, it quietly drains you. Stoicism teaches a different way. A calmer way. A stronger way. It teaches that your peace does not require permission, and your truth does not need applause. When you stop explaining yourself, something subtle but powerful happens. The noise around you begins to fade. The inner tension you've carried for years starts to loosen. You realize that clarity does not come from convincing others. It comes from being aligned with yourself. Most people explain themselves because they fear misunderstanding. But misunderstanding is not a threat to your character. It is a reality of human life. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He lived surrounded by judgment, gossip, and pressure, yet he reminded himself that the opinions of others were outside his control. And what is outside your control is not worth your suffering. The need to explain is often the need to be validated. But validation is unstable. Today it lifts you. Tomorrow it abandons you. Stoicism invites you to build your confidence on something unshakable. Your values, your discipline, your integrity. When those are solid, explanations become optional. Silence, when chosen consciously, is not weakness. It is restraint. It is emotional maturity. It is the ability to let things be without rushing to correct, defend, or justify. The Stoics believed that the strongest response is often no response at all. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop negotiating your boundaries. You stop softening your truth so others can digest it comfortably. You stop shrinking to fit expectations that were never meant for you. And people will notice. Some will respect you more. Others will feel uneasy, not because you changed for the worse, but because you changed for the better. Your silence removes their leverage. Your calm removes their control. Your self-trust reminds them of the discipline they avoid in themselves. This is why growth often attracts resistance. The Stoic does not argue with resistance. He understands it. He lets it pass without attachment. Epictetus taught that if you want freedom, you must accept that not everyone will like you. Not everyone will understand you. And that is not your burden to carry. When you stop explaining, you gain space. Space to think. Space to choose. Space to respond instead of react. This space is where wisdom lives. This space is where peace is built. So many conflicts are born not from disagreement, but from over-explanation. From emotional leakage. From the need to be seen as right instead of being grounded in truth. Stoicism teaches you to protect your inner world first. Everything else follows. Your actions become quieter, but stronger. Your words become fewer, but heavier. Your presence becomes calmer, but undeniable. If this message is resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. These teachings are for those who want clarity without chaos and strength without noise. Stay with us, and continue building a resilient mind. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop feeding every opinion. You stop allowing everyone access to your emotional space. You begin to choose carefully who deserves your words and who deserves only your silence. This is not arrogance. This is discernment. Stoicism does not teach you to be cold, it teaches you to be composed. It teaches you that your energy is finite and must be spent wisely. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every challenge deserves engagement. Not every misunderstanding deserves correction. Sometimes, the most powerful response is consistency. Showing up aligned. Living your values quietly. Letting time reveal what words never could. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is not to be like the one who harmed you. In the same way, the best explanation is not to explain at all, but to live in a way that needs no defense. When you stop explaining, you stop rehearsing conversations that never happen. You stop carrying imaginary arguments into real moments. You reclaim mental clarity. Your mind becomes lighter. Your emotions become steadier. Your direction becomes clearer. People who explain themselves too much often do so because they doubt themselves. But self-trust is a muscle. It grows with use. Every time you choose silence over justification, you strengthen it. At first, it feels uncomfortable. You want to clarify. You want to correct. You want to make sure you are not misunderstood. But then something shifts. You realize that being misunderstood did not destroy you. It did not take your worth. It did not erase your character. And in that realization, freedom appears. If you're finding strength in these ideas, make sure you're subscribed. This channel exists to help you move through life with calm confidence and inner control. More wisdom like this is waiting for you. The Stoics believed that peace comes from focusing only on what is within your control. Your actions, your values, your effort. Other people's opinions do not belong on that list. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop trying to control outcomes that were never yours to manage. You return to the only place real power exists. The present moment. Your own conduct within it. You begin to speak only when it matters. When your words add value. When your silence would be a disservice to your principles. This is not avoidance. This is mastery. Over time, people learn how to treat you. Not from your explanations, but from your consistency. From the standards you uphold without announcement. From the boundaries you enforce without anger. And the ones who cannot respect that will naturally fall away. This is not loss. This is alignment. When you stop explaining yourself, your life simplifies. Fewer arguments. Fewer regrets. Fewer emotional drains. You are no longer pulled into every debate. No longer responsible for managing how others feel about your choices. You become responsible only for who you are. That is the Stoic path. So remember this. You do not need to explain your growth. You do not need to justify your healing. You do not need to defend your silence. The right people will understand without words. The wrong people never would, no matter how much you explained. When you stop explaining yourself, everything shifts. Not because the world changes, but because you finally stand still within it. If you want more teachings like this, more guidance rooted in Stoic wisdom and emotional strength, subscribe to the channel. Walk this path with us, build a mind that cannot be shaken. And carry this truth with you quietly. Your peace needs no explanation.